welcome in to another Humankind Let's Play series here on the Maddish Moose YouTube channel. Episode 1. First episode of this Let's Play. Now, we've done a few other Let's Plays. I will link them in the description below. We've done kind of our original Let's Play on kind of the normal difficulty mode. We did a Let's Play featuring the Harbor Strat, which was very specific. We ended up making oodles and oodles of money per turn by the end of the game. So if you want to check that one out, you can check that one out as well. But this time, we're going to be playing Humankind at the top level difficulty. Now, I've done this before over on the live streams at twitch.tv/maddishmoose. However, I have not done it yet on YouTube. I've been pretty successful working around the Humankind difficulty level, but it's always a toss-up when you're playing at the top difficulty level in a 4X strategy game. How's the start going to be? What type of neighbors are you going to have? How aggressive are they going to be? All of these things we will find out as we jump into this Let's Play series. So, let's jump in to this series. This is going to be our Let's Play series at Humankind difficulty. I've got the settings, and I'll show them to you in a moment, set up as normal as I could. That was one of the things I wanted to attempt for this game, was let's play at Humankind difficulty, and let's also do it on as normal settings as possible so that it's as replicable as you can get throughout the time. In fact, I'll even, as we go through the settings, you'll be able to see the seed and everything. So if you want to basically grab all of these settings and grab the seed, you could potentially replicate this if you wanted to and play along if you so chose. So we'll go into the settings right now. I hope they're as normal as possible. We'll see. Let's jump into it. Here we are in our land. This is all we can see. Not a lot, as you notice. So this is a pretty typical start in Humankind. The river is really nice. I really like that we're on river already. We've got some science over here. We've got some capabilities for some good production and some good food. I'm really liking what I see in this minimal look we get. Why are we not seeing very much? Well, we got some ridges and cliffs coming in here. We've got forest coming in here, and so we can't see almost anything about our starting location here. Will we likely come back and settle this? Probably. This looks pretty dang good. We can't see anything else. We can tell that we are at the southern-ish portion of the map. You can always tell that in Humankind by zooming out. And so we are southerly. Not too far south, but we're going to be able to see the edge of our continent here at some point, right? Let's take a look at the settings, because I think that's the important part when starting. Here are our game options. So we have all of the endgame conditions are indeed on. We are playing on Humankind difficulty. Peaceful mode is not enabled, which is kind of a nice feature, though, if you wanted to test out Humankind without at the highest difficulty without having to go through the war. Game speed is on normal. Pollution effects are on. We're on the Gregorian calendar. Fame leaderboard is on. I'm really intrigued by potentially playing a game with that off at some point. Endgame conditions are default, and here are your map settings. I tried to make this as absolutely normal as possible. So, world size, normal. World shape, custom. Continent shape, custom. Okay. Climate, standard. Land percentage, 70. I wavered back and forth on what land percentage to put on the map. I like playing with a little bit of water. 70 seems like a pretty solid number. If you got thoughts on what land percentage should be on like a normal map of Humankind, I couldn't remember what it like defaulted to. I haven't been on default for so long I can't even remember it, or nor can you like get back to it. I set it for 4 continents because that was kind of right in the middle. Yes to the New World, because I think that is the way Humankind is meant to be played. So I always turn the New World on. Island odds standard. World wrap is on. Hemispheres both. Here is your world generation seed. So if you're wanting to replicate all of these settings, then put in this world generation seed, you would be able to hopefully get the exact same map. I've done that before when switching difficulties even. So you should be able to actually replicate what we're doing. Continent spread is set to regular. Continent form is set to regular. Land territory and ocean territory size, I did not change. So that was on 35 and 100. That's running this particular game was the first time that I had really like run into and been like, oh, should I mess with that? I didn't mess with it. 35 and 100 is just what I left it at. I love that you can customize that now. That's pretty crazy. Lake odds set to average, lake size set to average, rivers set to some, ridges and cliffs set to average, elevation is on standard, and then my face gets in the way. Strategic resource amount is on normal, luxury resource amount is on normal, and luxury resource distribution is on natural, which is, I believe, how the game, like, baseline started. When it first came out, before they introduced all of the different luxury things. Clustered, I think, was an option. But I set it to natural, which says, manage how luxury is responds around the world. And I can't remember what natural is now, but I probably should have looked that up. But natural is what we have the luxury resource set to. So there are all your game details. That is as normal a map as I can possibly put together. Obviously, all of the DLC content and expansions are active in this as well. And with that, we're ready to jump in. So a couple of things to determine as you're jumping into a game of Humankind. What direction are you going to go? I like to stay coastal-ish, but I also like to stay with the rivers. So I am really interested in seeing what happens down here. Like, how does our continent shape up? So I'm actually going to move. I'm tempted. These ridges here don't look nice, so I'm not really a fan of, like, moving further inland right now. I think I'm going to move in this direction. I don't see anything right now. I think if we poke out over here, we'll see now some horses, and the fact that the river does, in fact, end there. It looks like it ends here as well, so we have some river continuing this way and that way. Probably would be beneficial to do that, but I'm really intrigued as to what the coast does. And why would you want to follow river? Because when curiosities spawn on river, they always give 15 food. So it's very beneficial to stay on or near rivers when you're with your folks. So we're going to move in this direction, though. I'm going to hope that we don't... If a curiosity pops up behind me on the river, that will be sad. Perfect. Well, at least we're going to get 5 food out of our first turn, which is nice.
Delicious.
So 10. Perfect.
Though next time, it might be better if
10
you washed it
and
first.
1 influence. So once we get to 5 influence, we want to put our first outpost down almost as quickly as possible. And I really like right in here. Now, I'm not seeing any luxuries here, but that's okay. Because this particular plot of land, this spot, in fact, right here, maybe even right here, one of these 2 plots, that's just really beautiful. So I don't want to get too far away once I get that 5 influence to be able to put down my first outpost. But we got 10 food, so that's a nice start. All right, perfect. Another food. If we get 10 food there, that would be huge. If we get 5, that's unfortunate. We'll go...
Not everything worth appreciating was forged by human hands.
That's beautiful. The Gunig Mulu. Gunyung Mulu? I definitely probably not pronouncing that right.
If you learn nothing else, you could learn what killed them.
But that's nice. Plus sensibility, plus 5 knowledge, plus 5 industry, plus 5 science on main plaza, and plus 5 food on main plaza. That's actually huge. That's on main plaza, so we'd have to have a city to get that. Okay, so, but this territory directly connects to the one we'd settle. So that would be a very simple, settle our city here, attach this in to grab this beautiful natural wonder that is actually really potent. That's a really potent early game wonder. So we have the capability of potentially doing that. Now let's find out if we are going to get an extra person.
This way.
Yes. Excellent. So now what we're going to do is we're going to split our folks up. So we're going to send our new people. We will transfer them out and just get them right back onto the river. Probably up here. Well, let's do it slowly because that's always important. As you're wandering around early game Humankind, slow movement is better in case you see a curiosity. I think we follow the river in this-ish direction, probably, to see what we got up there. And now I'm interested... That looks like water. I'm wondering if our continent probably, under normal circumstances, because we're under normal continent shape, probably tapers off and comes around. This is probably the last territory over here. It does have some nice stuff in it. I'm going to cut this way with this group, maybe up on the high ground, so we can see just a little bit more of what we're doing, because that's definitely ocean. We've got a conglomeration of territories over here, so let's do that. Nice. Science Star. Great Barrier Reef has been discovered by somebody. We discovered Gunung Mulu. I have to look up how to pronounce that. And someone else has discovered the Great Barrier Reef. Okay. Let's stay on river. That's a beautiful amount of food. 15 food, like I said, 15 food. And we're at 3 influence. We want to keep an eye on that influence number. This will also probably up our influence. We may be turning that group around right away to go and get our first outpost down. That got us to 4. Which is, that's fine. We're also at 8 science. I believe we're probably at that high science number because we got 5 knowledge from the wonder itself, right? So we're actually pushing our knowledge stars really fast, which could be very advantageous. It means we could move up really early. The science stars is the one you want to key off of for that move up because it gets you that trait. It gets you the Neolithic Era trait. If you don't get the science star, if you don't get all 10 of the sciences to earn that science star, you don't get access to the Neolithic Era trait, which is a pretty big, people probably do it, but I would not ever recommend continuing a game of Humankind if you do not get the science star. It's doable probably, but I'm trying to stay high here. There's a nice river here as well. This also will show us, let's continue this way. I just want to see, yeah, the rest of this. Okay, so there's nothing great down here. There's a river here, so our settle here might be close to the river somewhere. This would be a huge food settle if we were settle like even on this prairie right here. We'll have to see. It might also be good to go like up here somewhere where we get just a little bit of production to go with it. We'll see. Also depends on who we're going to move up to. Okay, so we're at 4 influence. I don't want these guys to go too far. I almost want to just bring them back this way and just see if something else spawned, because I'd really like to settle that like next turn. If I jump off river, then we're gonna have to spend an entire another turn getting on river, and that's not really what I want. But I also don't want to waste their time, which basically we've already done by making that. So that was unfortunate. I am gonna move back though. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go backwards. Maybe stay on this river system so that I can get a quick settle in as soon as we get that next piece of influence. And there's the next piece of influence right there. That should get us 1. There's the 1. We also have 10 food on these folks now. And an extra person. That was 15 food, so we got an extra person out of it and 10. So I think what we can actually do now is we'll split one more time. Want to try to get a mammoth kill in at some point. But I'd like to get a touch more exploration done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a transfer out. And then we are going to try to see about putting down our outpost. We have a 1611 down here, which is kind of what I was thinking. And then a 1415. So we sacrifice 2 food if we go over here, but we gain 4 production, which is pretty nice. The question then becomes, how many rivers do we have access to? From here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. From here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's always good to count because your river infrastructures give you huge bonuses based off of that. So I think this does become the settle spot. Because it also gives us a place to build districts off of that are not river necessarily. So we can actually escape our districts away from the river without having to take up our yields early on. Later on, we can get rid of those yields and put districts down that are really valuable. But we can actually kind of jump out with different districts to be able to take advantage of the placement up here. We could do the same thing here, technically. It'd probably be even more free to do that. But let's go ahead and get this down. So that is like the earliest that we could do that. Okay, now there's a 5 food right. That's a... Oh, man, wait. Yeah, we can get through here, I think. That's an up and swing for them. These guys don't have the food. These guys have 10 food. Do I want to swing them back? I don't want to waste the time. There's 10 food. That's also, again, a nice amount of luck. Let's jump up to here, because that'll get us a better view. Okay, this looks nice. Not minding this. I am going to run these guys further up. In fact, let's get them on river. Oh, very interesting terrain up here. Fascinating. Okay. I like it. Okay. We have an event. I always like to do events first. The story in the stars. On cloudless nights after the fires have dimmed to embers, many of the tribe raise their eyes to the heavens, mesmerized by the vast ocean of stars. Some have noticed recurring patterns among the brightest stars. And in these shapes, they imagine the forms of heroes and beasts. Stories of their adventures, their victories, and their defeats are flourishing. Myths can be born here, you realize, ones that have the power to shape the tribe. What themes will you encourage? Now, this is always a really interesting choice if you get this one to proc. And this one procs quite a bit, this event. Plus 20 on Hunting Party is very valuable if you need some population to get up to the next growth star. So that could be helpful. Or if you're not, like, finding a lot of food necessarily. We have 3 people already. It's only turn 5. It's not a bad idea, but I feel like we're actually fine there. I think I may take Destiny. We're not fighting right now, so Ferocious is not super useful. Now, if we were in the middle of some mammoth fights, then maybe we would take this. I think we want to take Destiny here. That plus 20 influence could be really beneficial, and we could get a second outpost down, potentially very quickly, if we need to, right? So let's go ahead and take Destiny here. That will actually open us up to getting, I think, an outpost. Yeah, we can actually get it right now. So here's what I like to do with outposts in the Neolithic era. I like to get 3 of them down. That's my goal, is to get 3 of them down. But I actually do not want them to be next to each other. I actually want to settle them at least a territory away from one another. So, for example, I would not settle this one because it's already adjacent to where we're going to put our first city. This one is also already adjacent. So are these ones right here. Those adjacencies create less cost for putting our outposts down. So in the next era, when our outposts need to go down, you get cheaper outpost claims if you are claiming something that is adjacent to a city border. That's going to be adjacent to a city border, so all those are going to be cheap. Now, this one right here, because it is not touching our city, this one would be one we could claim. This one could also be one that we might want to claim. That gives us locations and opportunities for a second city, without having to put an expensive territory claim in later on in the game, right? So that's kind of the goal potentially with that. So let's run these guys. This territory is looking really interesting. Let's run these guys down river and see. I'm thinking it might be nice to put, what does it cost? 20? Yeah, so we have the 20 right now. It might be interesting to see
What's over there?
if this is the territory we want. Or do we want to go one territory further to put the claim in? Because that's the other option, right? Because then we put the city there, we get free cheap claims on these anyway because they're adjacent. Often 2 territories away is the most optimal use of your time. Okay, so this is looking really nice right here. Like this nook right here for an outpost. I mean, this would be incredible, right? 716. Food's kind of low, but again, you've got like an easy attach into something like very food heavy, and then you can obviously get some farmers' quarters off into this land. So this is actually looking pretty nice. I do want to explore just a little bit more. I want to stay high ground. Okay, now we have also run into the Great Barrier Reef. So that was already discovered by somebody else because we got the notification for that. So we now know that we have a very close neighbor. So that is not awesome. We don't love it. However, the idea of getting the Great Barrier Reef in my second city, if we take a look at the Great Barrier Reef, plus 1 food, it's fine. Stability, obviously. First discovered by, alright, so I happen to know, based on symbols and everything that I have set up, that the kangaroo, the brown kangaroo, is none other than 100 games, 100 days, Sarge. Sarge's AI personality. So, we will have a neighbor in Sarge, which is not great news for me. Sarge tends to be a relatively aggressive AI personality. So we will get, if we settle this, though, 5 knowledge, 5 money on City Outpost, 5 influence, and 5 plus 10 food on Harbor, which is actually really nice. Great Barrier Reef is a good wonder to own. We're right here already. I am not loving the look of whatever's over here. I don't see a great river spot. I am wondering if we just plonk down right over here. We obviously can get access to some food. So I'm thinking, almost thinking we should just claim it. Like right here, claim it. Just in case Sarge is still around and wants to take it. What would we be sacrificing by doing that? I mean, we're sacrificing a bunch of river. I like the idea of the city sprouting out from here. That's going to take us 3 turns to get back to that spot. That is kind of a bummer. But I think I'm down to do it. I think we're going to maneuver our way back. We're going to go backwards to put that down. It feels bad, but I want to get the claim in the right spot and not have to move it. We could move it with influence, but influence early game Humankind is at a super premium. Oh, we have another event. Let's grab that. Tribe's Legacy, so we got this. Okay, so here's another huge decision. in a game of Humankind. You can't see Waddle and Daub, but I'll describe it to you. Basically, you get to choose your Neolithic Era trait. Every era, you get to pick a trait. The trait is based off of the culture you choose from here on out. But the trait in the Neolithic, you get to pick between makers, farmers, and storytellers. So you get the Waddle and Daub trait if you pick makers, +1 industry per pop on city or outpost. Very nice. Anything per pop is amazing in Humankind. Plant lore, which is +1 food per pop on city or outpost. Or you can get +1 science per population on city or outpost. I used to swear by farmers, and then people convinced me that makers was the best one, and I am now actually pretty thoroughly convinced that storytellers is the best one. That being said, since I clearly have thought all of them were the best one at one point or another, they're all great. You can't really go wrong with this. One thing I like to think about is what does your land look like? So if we go back out really quick before we make that decision, we got some nice forest, we've got some nice rivers, we've got some mountains coming into play down here, there's a lot of production potentially available there, and we've got some nice plains. Our land looks really gorgeous. That being said, we probably won't need to push food or production very hard because we're going to have some really nice access to that. That means the idea of storytellers becomes even more appealing, especially early game. This +1 science per pop is really big. Later on in the game, it won't make quite as much of a difference, but that's true with each of these. Farmers being the one that probably continues to be really good throughout, just because it basically reduces food consumption by 1 for all of your people, right? Because you're just, every pop you're getting an extra food, so then they're not actually consuming, if you do the math, right? They're actually consuming as much, then you can add more population to your cities. So farmers is nice. We're gonna take storytellers because I really like this +1 science. As what we're gonna go with. And then this guy is gonna grab this food, I guess. That's gonna a painful little maneuver. Oh, there's river food. Okay, well, that guarantees us population, right? So he'll grab this and that. That will be 1 pop. We might be looking to move up pretty quickly at that point. And we have science over here now as well. So these guys are probably gonna swing around. Depending on whether this is a cliff or not. No, that's not a cliff. Okay, so there's a lot to do over here. These guys are gonna get a pop. I want to find a mammoth, too. It's getting tough. It's getting tough already. All right, these guys are gonna... Should we stay coast? Or should we stay river? We have 10 food. Let's go this way. Remind me later. Okay, that just ends. Well, we probably should have known that. Probably should have known that. I guess we're committing to it. We're gonna commit to going north with these guys. Okay, that's nice. Papyrus is not a bad one that pushes science right away, and then we also found some silk down here too, which makes this claim even more important. So what's...
You have built
Progress.
a first outpost, adding another territory to your empire. I know, you're hoping this is the beginning of something very, very big.
I am, Mr. Narrator. Sarge, our neighbor, is the first move up. A turn 6 move up to the Carolans. Now, I don't mind the Carolans being the ones that were taken. Their special unit is a healer. They are non-aggressive. So I am very much in favor of our neighbor taking the Carolans. This does make me happy. I was not going to pick the Carolans. In fact, I haven't even thought about who I was going to pick yet, based on what we're looking at here. So, still, that's a very fast move up. And he's got people. Okay, let's see. We got double scouts in the territory that we want to claim, and they're gonna go grab that science. I don't care, we already have our science star. I'd like to get this growth star. I think we have to just put it down. I don't think we risk waiting another turn. I think we just have to do this. I think we take this 10-11. We could debate moving it up there at some point or not, but I think we just take this claim. I don't want to risk losing the claim, so let's just get it down. Now, the other thing to think about is Sarge had already moved up, and so the cost of this would be pretty expensive. This also means that, like, he's got to be very close to us. There's no way he got 2 units this far away from his starting location, so We're in for a smidge of hurt probably here. Okay, we have to bring this guy back now at this point to go collect this, right? Do we have to have that? No, we don't have to have that, right? I want the food, right? So we're gonna go back. There was a food curiosity over here. These guys are gonna probably have to swing back this way, and then we'll push them out maybe that way or this way. I don't want to move up yet. I would like to get at least this growth star. It clearly, we haven't seen a single animal to hunt yet, which is kind of unfortunate because we won't get a third outpost in unless we find a mammoth. There's our mammoth, but we do not have the population to fight it, and we're too far away. If the mammoth moves this way, this guy might collect his extra pop and we could fight this mammoth and then get our final territory down. I don't want to push it too hard. There's a lot of good cultures, but I don't want to push too hard on staying. And we have a turn 6 move up already, which is pretty crazy. Sarge's people appear to have gone away. If this gets us 10, we get an extra pop, which would be really big.
We move.
Just the 5. Unfortunate. Now I think we have to head in this direction. Alright, these guys need to go... Can't remember where that food was. That's probably the better move. It gets us more vision.
We move.
There's the food. That should get us the pop. There's the population. So now the question is... Oh... That right there is also a second pop for these guys. So these guys could probably swing and just do some recon. If this mammoth moves, which he should on the next turn, then these guys will just jump on and grab this. I'm not going to fight the mammoth now. I want 2 people to fight him. So that unit is actually just going to sit there. We want to grab, as soon as the mammoth moves, we're going to grab this. There's our growth star. And now we have 2 mammoths potentially to fight. That guy has high ground. This guy has chosen low ground. So we will take this fight here. That's perfect. We should just be able to sit on high ground and win this fight.
For our young.
Do we want to stay on that river tile? That's not a river. And it's not high ground either. I wish I could see this ground a little bit. I think that's not high ground. That's not river though, right? So this is our best situation, I think. If he stays low ground, he attacks from river into woods. Woods don't help us in this particular instance because that's a range defense thing, but at least he's attacking from disadvantage. And if he attacks up straight, we're on high ground. So I think this is our best setup here. I always like to let the mammoth make the first move. Okay, the mammoth is going to make the smart move, which is stay exactly where they are. This will force us to move our guy here to get the attacking bonus. We want to attack down into the mammoth now. We'll also attack with these guys. We have to be careful not to lose a unit here. Okay, that should give us advantage. So the mammoth again makes the smart choice to attack into the weakest strategic point. This is playing on Humankind difficulty. Even the mammoths are intelligent. We run this attack. And I think we hold here. I am very worried that this mammoth is going to kill one of my units. I'm gonna back this guy off and hope they attack the mountain. No! Oh, that was brutal. We probably should have played that more defensively. We ended up losing the unit on the last fight, so we get no spoils, and we lost our unit. So that was very painful. That was incredibly painful, and not pleasing me at all. That's 20 food. That's an extra 20 food and 20 influence because we didn't get the spoils, and we lost effectively 20 food because we lost a unit. So that's like at the biggest debacle you could probably have in the Neolithic era. So there you go. Welcome to Humankind difficulty. Ugh. I could have played that fight more defensively. That would probably would have been my only hope probably for changing the outcome of that fight would be to just not attack the mammoth and let the mammoth attack us more. That probably would have been the smart thing to do. The river, I think, kind of messed us up there. I now think that if we want to get another we're going to have to bring these guys over, right? These guys are going to have to come over and try to get a mammoth kill, I think. The worst part is that the mammoth is also dead. I think we can cut through here. We also have a lair over there. It's not pleasant. There's a bunch of science over here. I'm going to keep these guys together in case we can fight a mammoth. These guys will try to come collect things through here. I don't know how long we're going to sit. Harappans also gone on that turn. Harappans are very good. So someone has taken Harappa, which is Harappa's very good for food. Again, we don't particularly need food necessarily, so I'm not like crazy disappointed that they're gone. More food is always good in Humankind, but we'll take it. Orna has gained population, so we're good. Growth in our initial city, and we really could move up anytime we wanted to at this point. Let's take a look at our event. Seed of an idea. Yesterday, the tribe came across a vast tract of wild grain, the stalks swaying in the breeze like the wind playing over the golden waters. The ground down grain could feed the tribe twice over, but one of the tribal elders had another idea. Instead of pounding the seeds into flour, she suggests planting half of them so the grasses may return the next summer. It is a curious idea, at odds with the nomadic life, but perhaps a harbinger of the future. What should you do? We do have access to a horse early, but we're not going to research horses right away. And then if we grind, +2 food on city or outpost is very nice. So we're going to go ahead and throw grind down because we want that +2 food on city or outpost that we placed during the nomadic. So let's take grind. All right, these guys also have access. Oh, boy. What is attacking this poor man? This poor man is now being attacked by a bear. That's a loss if I've ever seen one. So we're going to go ahead and retreat from that fight. They will come back around. I don't know what that is. They will come back around and grab this because that will get them an extra population. These guys are, I guess, going to come down and fight a bear and a mammoth. I don't think they'll be able to pull off both those fights, but let's head in that direction. I don't like the rivers around here. I mean, I like the rivers for the fact that this land looks very nice. We also now have discovered more tea, actually, up here. Tea is also very nice. So this will be a nice claim territory for us. We've got a couple nice things sitting in there as well. There's 5 food behind us. Oh, sweet goodness. These are the decisions. We're going after the science. We're going after the food. We're going to take the extra pop. We're going to take the population. I am going to split this population now. I do think that... I don't know how many mammoths we're going to find on this side of the map. I think we've got the mammoth we want over there. So let's run a guy up here. This group can go do exploration here. There are Sarge's borders, and that is a city. So that is his opening territory and his opening city. We now have basically set our borders. So we need to start making claims north of this. Otherwise, we're going to get hemmed in very quickly. So we probably don't want to... We don't want to wait too long as we move up here. So here we go to turn 10. The Nubians have also been chosen now. I don't think we were going to choose the Nubians. The Nubians are really good if you have lots of luxuries. Now, we have some luxuries, so I wouldn't have been opposed to it, but... Okay, so the bear's going to attack these guys instead. We're going to have, like, a high ground trap almost we can make. We force the bear to fight off of river. He probably runs in here. So bear makes foolish move. Actually, it's probably his best move, to be honest, because he didn't put himself in the trapped position. I think we double attack this. But I did this last time and failed miserably, so... Okay, we successfully killed a bear. We couldn't kill a mammoth, but we killed a bear. There's our +10, +10, and I think that gets us enough. Oh, we can't tell with this guy. Let's check this guy. What do we need? Oh, so no cost. So we should be able to put down our final territory now. So we could actually move up very, very soon. The question is, what territory claim do we make? The answer is probably just this one. Because that's like right next to Sarge's borders. So let's pop up and see. I'm just going to go all the way in. Oh, this claim is looking very nice. Okay, Sarge is on river in this territory, so that's a potential claim that he might make. What do we need? 60. We need 60 influence, so we need a mammoth kill to get this last claim. These guys are now damaged. So this fight, although we could take it right now, I feel like we lose this fight. Mammoth is on river, but we're on river as well, so we're not getting any advantage there. What do we need to bring? We need to bring... These guys need to come back around and help, basically, but I can't unless we combine them. We go this way, but that's not going to get us the food we need. It would get us a unit that we could potentially reinforce into the fight. But we don't have the tech to reinforce yet, so we'd have to combine them in. So I think we have to go this way. We have to kill this mammoth if we want our last outpost. So we have to make a determination now as to if it's worth it to put the last outpost in. Is that something necessary for us to get that last outpost in? We're definitely not going to go for 4. I've done 4 before. I actually don't think 4 is worth it. But I really like to get that third one down because the cost in the Neolithic era of putting outposts down is substantially lower than the cost of putting them down when you move up. Now, they exponentially increase as you put the... maybe not exponentially, but they increase quite a bit as you put more and more outposts down. So that affects the cost heading into your next era as well. So, like, our next claim would be relatively expensive just because we'd have already placed 3 down. But I think we still want to try to get... We have a mammoth in range. If these units can heal a little bit and we can maybe bring 1 more unit to... We can easily get this mammoth kill and then just immediately drop an outpost down and then move up. So I feel like we could do that within 5 turns. And with a 15 turn... I'm not opposed to a 15 turn wait. Olmecs and Egyptians are now gone as well. There's food inside Corral. I am not opposed to stealing that food. I don't have anything else to do right now, right? Because I don't have... Well, let's wait, because if I want to claim that territory... Can we run this mammoth fight? We would have very poor... If we run it from here... I don't like it because we're damaged, you know? That's the main problem here.
Onwards. We move.
There's an extra pop. So we got now we got multiple. We could combo this. Well, what we want... Actually, no. Here's what we want. We want to take this guy. We want to transfer. We want to get him into this army right now. Go. Oh, really? Why didn't you just... Oh. You definitely could have made it in. That is very frustrating. Alright, well, in the effort of getting this done, let's combine them now. Unfortunately, they have 10 food on them, so we are going to be wasting some food by doing this, but we'll guarantee ourselves the mammoth kill, so that's fine.
I'm on it.
This guy's going to come down. Well, we'll be able to attack the mammoth on the next turn with a group of 3. That should work for us. And then actually, rather than trying to go snag this food, we're going to go find our settle point.
This way.
On this river. It looks like it could be up here. And that's probably why Sarge's guys are headed in that direction. We can't take that fight, and we can't get up there. So, I feel like we just sit on... we can't be on river, because this drops into cliffs both ways. I think we just sit right here. Well, actually, we can't move anymore, so that's perfect. We also have a science sitting here. Lot to do. There's a lot to do. We can't get that with these guys. There's another science over here, from what I recall. Let's go up to here. We can at least pick some science up. We're not gonna get our hunter star, which is technically worth it. I just haven't seen any deer. No deer to speak of, which is kind of frustrating. Pop gate, and there's the claim. Right. Well, we did not have. We were 3 away. We didn't have what it took to get the claim off, and so now we have an aggressive move. We might have to go. We might have to play this aggressive now that we are getting completely cut off. We may need a quick crushing of this particular outpost. All right. Well, let's at least get our 3rd one down. We'll run this attack. That is the attack we want, right? Full high ground. Yeah, that gives us full high ground. Does this also give us? This is fine. Actually, no. I like to cut. I'm gonna cut them off and force them onto that side of the map.
For the tribe.
Multiple. There's multiple mammoths over here. Well, man, you'll fight this. We're gonna take. I don't like that guy there. That's not. Stick him back here. Technically, they could come around. The mammoth could run this way and try to come around the backside, but we're pretty well established here. We have high ground in the back here. We could move this guy up just in case that happens. Okay, once again, smart move by the mammoth. Doesn't allow for the double attack from high ground. Pretty dang smart. We'll go ahead and run that attack or this attack. Yeah, we'd probably run this one first.
Kill them.
Last thing we want to do is lose a unit again, though. I think we could run this attack safely. And then we'll back these guys up. This guy. Perfect. And there's the 2020 that we needed the first time. So, losing that mammoth fight cost us dearly early in the game. Why? Because we didn't have the influence we needed to make this claim. And now we have a situation where we're getting basically cut off. Like, we do not have the land that we probably need to be successful in this game. If we don't take this outpost. This outpost goes down in 3 turns. We're gonna try probably to raise a quick army maybe and go deal with that, but it's gonna be that'll be tight. That'll be tight. Let's go explore over here a little bit. A deer? That would actually be really nice. So that's a deer. We have a 3 army here and another mammoth. No, that's a 4 army and another mammoth. That's 2 kills and a star on the next turn. Plus, we still have to put down our outpost. I think we go 1 more turn. Where are we putting this outpost down? I'd love to claim something out here. But really, we're getting so squished at this point. I'd love a claim, like, out here somewhere. But I don't think we're going to get there, right? Because these guys can't get up anywhere. Might as well try to go grab this. That's not going to happen either. Where do I want to send these guys? I guess these guys go this way then. Send them back. This guy can grab that.
Onwards.
We can't split these guys, can we? I'd like to take our most damaged unit and split them off, and then we can get an extra one, potentially. Mammoth is going to come up into the exact same position as last time. We're going to take this guy. We're going to transfer him out.
Onwards.
And then these guys are going to hang out together. Get them as far as we can before we run the attack. Then we'll run the attack from the exact same spot. We'll take the exact same positioning. We have a damaged unit, so we'll just make sure that the damaged unit is the one we stick back here. Take that position. Mammoth would probably make the same move. Mammoth does make the same move. We're going to run this unit down. We'll run the attack again. Basically just a repeat of the last battle. Only our units are even better now, probably. Although they haven't gotten any bonuses, necessarily. This guy is here. Mammoth attacks that guy. And there's another 20 food and another 20 influence. So, Mammoth Hunt's very big. So now, if I can find this deer.
We move.
Oh, deer, where did you go? Come on now. Deer go this way, or deer go this way? Or did the deer run out? No, the deer couldn't run out completely, because we could see that. Oh, if we can't get the attack off on this turn. Oh, that's a real bummer.
This way.
Oh, come on, deer. Am I really going to wait for this star? It's 100 fame. It's 100 fame. We still have to put down an outpost. Ooh, this guy, they seriously can't. I have to go like all the way through his land to do this. We're gonna pick up the science. Let's just go grab sciences. What do we got? Olmecs is gone, Nubians, Harapins, Egyptians, Carolins. We got plenty of good options. Babylonians are still on the table. I really enjoy playing Babylonians early. That might be our play. Hate that this went down. I technically want our claim to be, like, out here. So, like, I want, like, this land, which we're actually sitting in. We could put the claim down. We're gonna go one more turn. People who don't like staying in the Neolithic are gonna hate this, but we're gonna play one more turn in the Neolithic. We'll end by moving up. How's that sound? We got an event, so let's do that first. A world of flame! In the distance, a thin cord of smoke cuts up into the clear blue skies. Fire! Calling a few tribesmen, you run closer. The smell of cinderbark and burning pine grows stronger with each footfall. You spy dancing flames and suddenly find yourselves on the edge of a settlement on fire. Many of the structures are ablaze, and even the smoke and flames you can see these abodes are marvels of craftsmanship. You're about to direct your men to put out the fires with loose soil when you see short shadowed figures running away. Youths! They could become part of your tribe if you give chase now, but what would that mean losing the secrets of their construction? What is your choice? City defense research cost is not awesome, so we're going to take chase and get another unit. I don't particularly feel the need to drop that that amount. We're going to grab... Okay, so what we can do here is this guy can grab this and move in this direction. And that now tells me that our claim actually wants to be here. These guys are going to just double check that that's the case by going up here.
This way.
Okay. It's really nice land. But there's a river here, and so our claim is probably right there, which we can't get to on this turn, which is unfortunate. I could jump in here and just put the claim down and use influence to move it, which would be probably very beneficial. So the determining factor here is going to be, can we get... Ah, there's the deer. He did go down here. What a punk. Hey, deer! You're kind of a punk, friend. Where do we want to attack this guy from? We'd love to have the opportunity for high ground, maybe. Like, if the deer does something dumb.
Hit them!
What a sprint to get after this deer. Okay. Now we have a ground v ground fight versus the deer. I'm gonna just sit on a tile where it could make an error. That's where I want. He's way over there. I'm gonna move us to here. Do I make the attack? I probably... No, I don't. We defend off first round. Let the deer make the attack. The deer makes a smart move, doesn't go down into the low ground. That's fine. Now that we have the advantage, now we press the attack. Defending gets you that bonus that you want. Deer's moving closer to not being on high ground. Alright, and there's the kill we needed. That's another 100 fame. And I like that. I love the fact that we just snagged that last Hunter Star. So now the question becomes, we have all the stars we need. We have absolutely no reason to move up. That is not going to help us at all. We're actually not even going to go get it, because we know that's only going to be 5 or 10 food. We're going to scoot in this direction. Unveil the rest of our land, which is looking very nice. Okay, so here's something telling. If you noticed, Caro's population was 4. It is now 2, which means probably 2 units were trained out of Caro recently. I do not like that, but these are the things you want to try to notice as you're moving up. I would think, especially at Humankind difficulty, we have a little army being trained by Sarge here. That is not particularly something that I wanted to hear, but it is nonetheless something that I have now... Oh, I switch. Oh, that was close. That's why you always move one at a time. Okay, so we got that. We have a lair, but the lair will stay. The lair doesn't go anywhere. All curiosities reset at era change, but the lairs and other these particular like on ground markers that are not the curiosity ones that spawn, these ones don't reset. So we can actually get some nice gold if we leave this for the next era, I believe. I kind of want to move up. which means I basically just have to claim this piece of land. I'd say 615, which is not bad at all. And we'd only be switching it for an 814 if we moved it on the next round. So I'm actually a lot more river though, a lot more river. But we can extract on the river later. I'm gonna put this down so that we can move up a turn early. Because I see no other reason for us to stay. Let's go ahead and put that down. That gets us our 3 outposts spread apart, right? 3 outposts as spread as I can. And now we will go and get ready for our move up. Let's send these guys. So these guys are actually going to hold, right? We're going to go ahead and hold them. They're going to burn this lair down on the next turn. So let's do our move up. This is perfect. We will end episode 1 by getting out of the Neolithic Era. 50 minutes later. We have 30 knowledge, which is really nice. We got 12 population, and we just got the Hunter Star to get up there. You'll notice that we are in the lead now because the AI tend to push moving up very quickly, especially out of the Neolithic. I like the fame that you can collect here. I mean, you can't get this fame anywhere else. It's the only place you can grab it from. So, all right, let's take a look at what we have left. We have the Bantu. The Bantu are nice if you have adjacency to empires. We actually have that. The Bantu would be an interesting play. The Bangeni Pioneers are really fascinating. They get to continue collecting food, which no other unit really gets to do. There's a couple kind of war-based units that do a similar mechanic, but the Pioneers continue to collect food curiosities and therefore grow and put down cities, sort of outposts in that way. I've played the Bantu before. I don't love them, but they are a potential play. The Assyrians, if we want to go heavy into fighting, would be an option. I don't really like the Danu very much, so I wouldn't probably choose them if we wanted to go this way. The Babylonians are very tempting, and that is because +2 science per research tech on the capital, really nice. That's the permanent trait, right? So we push science pretty hard there. The astronomy house is one of the best, in my opinion, emblematic districts in the ancient era, because you have a farmers and research quarter. That's really nice. You don't get access to research quarters for a long time if you don't pick a research-oriented culture in the ancient era, which I believe is pretty much only the Babylonians, or maybe one other. This would be a really nice pick for us. I like playing the Babylonians quite a bit. Our unique unit is also not terrible. It's anti-cav, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but they're not bad either. Hittites, if we want to go to war, again, would definitely, if we want to just go take a city, the Hittites would be one to do. I've never played the Hittites before. They have a different outpost, which is kind of nice. They generate a bunch of money. And then they have a heavy cav special. And we gotta have 2 horses and a copper, though, to put those out into the battlefield, which is kind of intense. I am high on the Mycenaeans right now, but I'm playing them in my Friday night game live on the Twitch stream, so I'm not going to play the Mycenaeans. I love the Cyclopean fortresses. I think they're fantastic. And so that's they would be a fun play here, actually. I've played the Phoenicians a ton. The Phoenicians are one of my favorites. The Havens are amazing. Go watch the Let's Play on the Harbor Strat if you want me to talk about the Phoenicians all day long. They're amazing. The Sumerians, -10 attached territory. I don't know. The Aduba's kind of cool. It is a research quarter. So there's your other access to a research quarter. +5 leverage against all known empires when each Aduba is built. Science on farmers' quarters, which is nice. +6 science per adjacent main plaza. Ooh. What are these? They're also anti-cav? Part of me really wants to pick the Sumerians now. Uh-oh. Now we have a tough decision. Well, this actually looks really interesting. The Zhao are another option. They also have a research quarter. The +2 stability on district can be very, very useful early in the game. I'm seeing some nice luxuries in our territory. We have some, so I'm not too concerned about a stability. +2 stability on district, though, is a really nice trait to have early game. The Confucian school is good, but you have to have mountains. I don't think we have enough mountains for that. So we're debating the Sumerians getting +6 science. So, because we're going to be putting them adjacent, right? So it would be 6, 7, 8. It would be 8 science. It would be some leverage, which I never get early on. And then it would be additional science on farmers' quarters, which you know you're going to be building. So you're looking at what? Probably your opening aduba is going to be worth 6, 7, 8, and then a 9th science. It's going to be worth at least 9 science. Babylonians are going to get you, let's see, a research slot. +1 science per researcher, which is actually pretty big. Late game, that translates really nicely. +1 food per researcher, which you won't be taking advantage of right away. And then +3 science per adjacent farmer's quarter. So immediately, the astronomy house is going to get you. And I'm really tempted to play the Sumerians. You're only going to get, what? Put down 2 quarters, you're still only going to get to 6. You have to put 3 farmers' quarters down just to match what the aduba is going to give you. Now this would be the other thing to consider. +2 science per research tech on capital. It's not a huge number. That's not a huge number. I'm not as concerned with this. Honestly, the fact that this is a farmer's quarter and a research quarter is why I'm leaning towards it. But you know what? Here's the thing. I played the Babylonians a ton. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play the Sumerians because I've never done it before. I've never opened Sumerians. I think I actually did just coincidentally in the little like video I was recording for my previous YouTube video, but I didn't actually play as them. -10 on attached territory cost per remaining city cap count. So that's interesting. -25 cost of signing treaties with independent people. That's actually kind of potent. We could sign some serious treaties with independent peoples. That actually might be really nice. You know what? I'm going to try the Sumerians. Why not? Chat, we're going to do it. This is it. I'm going to press the button. It's probably a bad idea. Babylonians are powerful. We're playing on Humankind, and I'm going to go brand new culture.
It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay. Not just markets for the Sumerians, but also the scribes to keep track of their crops. Ah, administration.
Administration. Grain Star earned already. That's not surprising. We can find our first city. We also have a deer that we can attack right off the bat. And we have word has reached us of an empire, of course. All right. That is where we're going to leave this episode. We're going to be playing the Sumerians in the ancient era. I have never played a diplomat culture in the ancient era. This should be very interesting. I'm excited to see how it goes. We will leave it there. We'll pick our city and launch into this turn on our next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very much looking forward to this Humankind level difficulty game of Humankind. That's what we're doing. Settings are all very normal. I'm excited to see how this goes. The land looks really nice. I'm pleased with the start. We're getting pushed a little bit by our neighbor, which will make for some interesting choices, because typically I like to stay away from war. They've already attached. I can actually see, I'm looking at it right now. They attached that territory already, which is what I was afraid of. It was an immediate attach. Oh. All right. We'll deal with that in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you